Hello everyone, so welcome to today's video. We are doing a full face tutorial today, and I'm incorporating a lot of rosy ink products that I recently purchased and ordered from the website. Some I've had for some time and I've been using them throughout the last several months. The one product goes back to the beginning of summer that I have been using and really enjoying. And I really wanted to incorporate those products and use some old existing products from Rosy Ink that I've had with some of the newer ones that I recently purchased, and then just kind of incorporating other products that I've been trying and things that I've ordered recently with all the sales going on. I have quite a few products that I ordered during the Black Friday sales that I wanted to share with you in a haul video coming up soon, but today's video is just very easy. The makeup is fresh. It's just very easy every day. That's the best way I can describe it, but it's taking the eye look a little bit up with a new product from the brand Rosy Ink that has a little bit of a sparkle and kind of makes the eyes sort of gleam in such a beautiful way. And so I can't wait to share that with you. So if you want to see this entire look from start to finish, then just keep watching. So I'm going to start with the Cali Ray primer. This is the Pore Diffusing Primer. I've been testing this out. It's called the So Blown Primer. I use a very small amount, and I like to just kind of dot it. And I usually just do the center of the face, here where I have larger pores, over the nose, center of the forehead, chin, like so. And I've been enjoying this. I feel like I still need to keep testing it to give you like my official thoughts and like an in-depth review on this, because I'm trying to test this underneath a bunch of different other complexion products and foundations in my collection. And one of those products is the Rosy Ink Skin Enhanced Luminous Tinted Serum. I wear the shade 20, and as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I'm going to use a lot of Rosy Ink products in this video and then kind of sprinkle in a couple other new things and some other things that I've been testing out to kind of create a full face for the day. So this is an interesting product. I've talked about this in previous videos. It's one that looks a little different, and I will get up close to the camera. You can see how it's clear, and then these pigment spheres are suspended in the serum. And I read some reviews on this that it doesn't blend and it's difficult to work with. It doesn't work well with other products. It's streaky. And the thing is with this, it's a different type of formulation. It's not like a foundation. It's a lot thinner and lighter. It is watery, but you have to break up those spheres in your hand, on a makeup palette. The back of your hand works as well, and then apply. You can't just go straight into it with like the pump like you see on Instagram, or pumping it onto a sponge or brush and then going in, because it's going to require more work that way, and it's going to look like it's not blending because it's two products that are separated purposefully that way. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to take like usually do about 4 pumps and be runny. Just like I said before, it's super running, but you have to sort of break this up and sort of work the product. And I think I may have demoed this before. And then once you do that, you start to actually see the products come together. It looks like it's not mixing, blending, and it's separating, but you have to just kind of trust the process. And then I like to apply it with my hands because I have it all over my fingers, but then I will go in with my sponge afterwards. It is pretty watery. It's almost like applying a skincare product. That's what it feels like. It doesn't feel like foundation. To me, I feel like once this is all blended and worked into the skin, it's a step up from the coverage that I would get from a tinted moisturizer. So I don't use tinted moisturizers often. As you can see, maybe some color there, because of the fact that they offer nothing except a lot of hydration and moisture to the skin, which is nice. It makes the skin look super healthy and juicy and plump, but it doesn't do anything in the coverage department. So I'm just going to kind of keep working this in. And I do take a little bit under the eyes as well. Okay, so here I am. It's not very well blended, and I'm going to take my damp sponge and I'm going to just start kind of working it, especially like around the nose where it's kind of tricky to get with my fingers, around the mouth area. And like I said, it does provide very light coverage, and this is great for those kind of no makeup days where you want something light. You can use it as a priming step before foundation. You will use less product that way. Summertime, or if you're just someone that likes very thin, very minimal makeup as possible, the thinnest, lightest formulations possible, you will like this. Because it doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't look heavy. It actually looks really natural. Next, I'm going to go in with the Rosy Ink Concealer. I bought the shade 30. I had gotten one of those free blister packs with an order when I bought the serum many months ago, and it had some samples of the concealer shade and the lip and cheek products, which I'm going to show you here in a little while. And I'm pretty sure 30 was the lightest shade in that blister pack that I used. And I wouldn't have selected this naturally if I was looking at the colors. I would have gone a shade below this because I am pretty fair, but I think it was 30, and I'm kicking myself because I should have written it down. But this is going to give me coverage and also like a brightened effect because there is a bit of a pink tone to this. Very light, the pink tone to it, so it's not like super obvious, but it does add to that brightening effect. And it has a huge doe foot applicator, just like the Shape Tape and a lot of concealers these days kind of took after that. Now that I'm using this, it does seem a little on the darker side than I remember. I think maybe it was 20 that I used. I don't know. But we're going to make it work because I'm not going to. Obviously, it's an online brand only, so I'm just going to have to make this work. I do like the concealer, though. It's hydrating. It's creamy, but it's not where it's super creasy. It's not one of those that doesn't set. It will set with powder, which I will show you. The powder that I like to use for the under eye area. And it actually has a really nice coverage. And I do pull that down just a little bit lower, go around the sides of the nose. And then whatever's left, I can kind of go over my cheek area if I want a little bit more coverage. And honestly, even though that does appear darker when I applied it, it does look like it's going to work for concealing my under eye area. And it's not going to look too dark. At my under eye, I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury. This is the mini Flawless Airbrush setting powder in the shade One Fair. It's such a good powder. I always use it for the under eye area. Took the same powder to set a little bit on my face so it's not as dewy looking, because that serum is very radiant looking and dewy and hydrating, not shimmery, but it gives a glow. For brows, I'm going to use my brow lift from Charlotte Tilbury and my Fluff and Hold from Too Faced, and I'm going to do these off camera because it's going to take me a while, and I'll be right back. Alright, back, brows are done. Going in with some bronzer. This is the Glowish by Huda Beauty bronzer. This is the Soft Radiance bronzer in medium. I love this. This is such a good bronzer. I'm using the F23 brush from Sigma. And just loading up my brush. This bronzer is one that's really hard to mess up. Like, it's so easy to blend and work into the skin. It's a big fave. But I got the mini because I wanted to try before committing to the full size. And, you know, I'm just kind of kicking myself that I didn't get the full size in this and also in that Charlotte powder. The setting powder is just awesome. I love it. Take some down the sides of my nose. And whatever's left on my brush, I like to go on the jawline. So I picked up one of the lip and cheek, I can't say that, lip and cheek products from Rosy Ink in the shade Wisteria, which I think is one of their newer shades. Again, one of the other samples that I had gotten previously months ago in an order was a little blister pack of some of these. I had like the pink one, I think it's Azalea, that I tried. It was really pretty. There was a coral one. And so I looked at the swatches on the website and I thought Wisteria looked really pretty. And this is what it looks like. I have not even used it, so you can see what the texture looks like when you first get it. And so when I was trying out that sample, I felt like the best way was to work this product into a brush off the back of my hand or onto a makeup palette instead of putting my brush directly into this, especially if I'm going to be using this on my lips. If you've ever tried using a brush directly into a cream product, you will see eventually you're going to get some brush little bristles in there, and that kind of annoys me. So I kind of want to keep it as clean as possible so that I can go in with my finger and apply it to my lips if I choose to do that for the day. And then once you put your finger in there, you may be able to see how it has that very creamy, very kind of dewy texture. And one of my favorite brushes is this little mini from It Cosmetics. This is the mini blush brush, and I have the product in the back of my hand. It's a really nice color, actually. And I feel like it's a color that works great for a monochromatic look too. If you're going to use it on your cheeks and your lips, you can also use it on your eyes. And I like to kind of start kind of up here and then kind of bring it closer into like the apples of my cheeks. And I like to take a little bit over my nose. You've seen that kind of cold girl kind of look where they use a nice bright color. This one I probably would use something a little bit more kind of pinky for that, but I always like to take my blush over my nose and then kind of blend it. Sometimes I go around here as well, the temples. And doing like this with a brush, I have a little bit of dewiness that you can see when I move my face, the way the light catches it, but it doesn't look super wet. It doesn't look like super creamy. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to describe. You see that creamy kind of look and kind of glow, but it doesn't look wet or too glossy. It doesn't look too emollient, and I feel like it's because I use the brush. And then for highlight, I also have another product from Rosy Ink. This is the cream highlighter that came out a couple months back. I have the shade Opalescent, and for some reason my compact got messed up. I think the little magnet underneath here needs to be re-glued, so I'll have to work on that, but I kind of messed that up. But this is what the actual color looks like. It's a very soft, like effortless pink, and I've used this a ton, and it's beautiful. It's such a good formula. It's creamy and blendable. Mine seems a little dry on the top because I feel like my lid isn't really secure, so once I fix that, it'll be fine. But once I kind of work my finger in there and kind of warm up that product, let me swatch it for you. You see, it's so flattering and so pretty, and the formula is just, yes, all the way around. It's a great formula for a cream highlighter. So I like to take this, and I just use a compact mirror that's also provided in this little packaging, and they're also all refillable. There's little pinholes in all the products, so you can buy and refill or swap them out. You can get refill size products on the website for cheaper. Love it. One of my faves for sure is the eyeshadow duo. I picked up the Satin Copper and Copper Shimmer. It's the one that was labeled as Rosie's favorite, so I will show you up close what that looks like. Really pretty, kind of like a coppery bronze with a sparkly top coat. The darker shade is the cream, and then this one here is the actual topper slash powder eyeshadow. So it's two different textures. They have a couple different options, and again, it's one of those that has pinholes and you can pop them out and put in the refills. And I think the refill says coming soon on the website, but there's a few options that you can purchase already set up like this with the compact that comes with the mirror and everything. Again, magnetic closure, very clean, very sleek and sophisticated packaging, which I like. So I think I'm going to go in with this color all over my lids and just kind of see how that goes. I'm going to use an angled brush from Real Techniques. This is the Instapop Shade Brush. So it's kind of angled, and I feel like it's going to work for picking up the product, and that's the dark shade, and it's going to hopefully work for blending. So I'm going to just take this, smooth out my creases from my concealer first, and then I'm going to go straight onto my lids with this. Well, that's very pigmented, and that's going on pretty easily actually. Then I'm going to switch to a crease brush, and I'm going to start kind of working those edges a little bit to create a blended look. I'm not sure if this sets and stays put like other cream shadows that I have in my collection, so I kind of want to work quickly in case that is what's going to happen here. And I'm just going to kind of work that brush back and forth, softening out those edges and kind of pulling it up a little bit in the way that I would if I was doing a one shadow look, and not adding too much. You know, those one shadow looks, you kind of take that color on the lid and then kind of smoke it out and blend it towards the brow bone. So I kind of have that same idea here with this brush. And then of course I have to touch up again, because naturally with blending you're going to lose a little bit of that intensity here. I'm taking that same color on a smaller brush, in the lower lash line. Then with the ColourPop E26 brush, which is a very densely packed small brush for eyeshadow, I'm going to take that topper shade, that powder eyeshadow. I'm going to load up my brush, tapping off my excess in case there's fallout from the sparkles. I'm just going to press this right over the top of the eyeshadow. Those two colors go perfectly together. Wow, that's beautiful. And you know what? I don't really see a whole ton of fallout. That's interesting. Maybe because I put it over the cream, it stayed put. But that's really nice. Yes, all around, yes. Okay, so here's the completed eye look. I just did some black eyeliner in my waterline for tight lining and a good 2 coats of mascara. And that's it. I didn't even put eyeliner on the top. Just really simple and easy. Kind of keep it a little bit more fresh looking and just less complicated. Just simple and easy. And I really like the way these two colors came together. And I like the tone of that kind of bronzy copper shade. And then that pretty sparkly gold over the top just really elevated a very simple color to begin with, and it just kind of took it to the next level. It's like taking a one shadow look and just amping that up a bit with a little bit of a kind of sparkly topper, which I have actually been enjoying a lot lately. And then for lips, I use a rosy ink lipstick. I ordered the shade, this is a satin lipstick in the shade Besotted. And that's what it looks like. It's a little bit deeper in person than what it looked like online. I probably would have preferred a shade lighter. It seems like a comfortable formula, and honestly it kind of goes well with the eyes. It has that kind of fallish, autumn, fall, winter kind of vibe to this lip color. I would have preferred something a little bit more pink and a little lighter, but it's still pretty, still a very comfortable formula. And I used the Lancome Natural Mauve Lip Liner, which is one of my go-to, like it's one of my top favorite lip liners. I wear it every day, and that's what I use to line and fill first, and then I went over it with this lipstick. Alright, so that completes this entire look. This actually turned out to be a lot prettier than I was envisioning. I am very surprised by the way the eyeshadow worked out. It's one of her newer releases, and I wanted to try it, and I was kind of skeptical because I do have a lot of cream eyeshadows that I like. I prefer stick form eyeshadows versus these ones that you actually have to use your finger or dip a brush into, but it actually is a really pretty color. Very festive, very fall, very winter, autumn kind of vibes with the colors, and I feel like it's the perfect time of year to incorporate those shades in my makeup routine. And I like the way the look came out. It's very simple and easy, just those two colors, and it could not be more simple to do. 2 coats of a good mascara and done. It's an easy everyday look. It could be worn for upcoming holiday events, parties, get-togethers, anything like that. I feel like this would be appropriate because it has that sparkle that's really, really pretty and just sort of elevates the look. And I do like the complexion. It's fresh, it's glowy, it's not overly cakey looking, it's not super mattified, but it's not extremely dewy. It's right. And then obviously you can, put more powder on if you want, or put a setting spray, or, just kind of use more powder products like bronzer and blush if you don't want such a dewy look. But I'm here for it today, and I'm just going to roll with it. I do like the way it looks, and I think it looks really pretty and just fresh. So I hope you enjoyed this video and sort of my take on some of the Rosy Ink products that I've been trying and testing out as of lately. And if you have any questions about them, let me know. And I'll have everything listed below for you in the description box of everything that I use and the shade ranges and the colors that I wear as well for the Complexion products. So expand that. You can also follow me on Instagram. It's on the screen. We can connect there and be friends. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I will see you very soon. Take care.